on YouTube, right? Sports Club.
Yeah.
Varsity Sports Nation. Unleash the champion within.
Yeah, you see it. We're back again, and it's all about going deep into the dive and diving deep. Come up for some air, because when you come up, you never know what you might see. And what you're going to see now is how the game has changed when it comes to sports, the platform, the stage, the journey of where athletes want to be when all said and done. Can they look back and have a memory saying, "This is what I did"? Can they sit down in front of their son and their daughter and say, "Back then, this is how it went"? But you know what? There's a new trend that's going on right now. And I'm so excited to be a part of that trend and that journey. And having Shot by Nine, Tremaine Wright, be able to capture the moment. And we go in there, we sit down, we look in the film room. Welcome to the film room, y'all. I'm your boy, Coach Low for Life, aka the Cam King. And we're about to go live right now and talk about some great things that's going on for the ladies. So, Tremaine Wright, what's going on?
Man, what's going on, Coach Low, man? It's blessed to be here for another day, another Monday, actually. I think it's like our fifth or sixth episode. So kudos to us for being consistent on this platform and looking forward to talking about, girls flag. I'm excited about it. I've been seeing a lot of great things about it, and we just did a camp about it. So let's talk about that.
Listen, here's the thing that I look at it. I go way back into the days when it was all about men's sports, men's sport. I dive into the history of sports, where the women
Hmm.
come in and they watch the sport, they watch the men perform. Then all of a sudden they like the equal right. It was equal. Like, hey, we can do that too. I mean, of course, we'll need to go against women against women and men against men. But hey, we can do the exact same thing. So why not? And you start seeing the trend back in the day, but there still was some sports that was not given the opportunity for ladies and to expand, to excel. People tried different tactics. They tried women tackle football. They tried women lingerie tackle football. They tried it all. None of it succeeded. But when I can you can see where they set a stage and a platform where beautiful ladies can continue to have the charm and continue showing the athleticism and put it together and compete just like the boys. Well, flag football is the key. But we decided, you know what? Why not us? Why not the Camp King and the factory join in with different youth, different football camps like All American Exposure Camp and bring it to the different cities around the country? We took it to Las Vegas and it was an amazing event. They are huge in flag football. So we brought it back to our hometown in Central Florida, and we had to put on a camp this Saturday. And we introduced the ladies to a training that they never did before, never heard of, or didn't know that it even exists. And now they're excited, and the trend has begun and talking about it more and more. Tremaine, you captured behind the lens. What were your thoughts when you went back into film room and you watch and you look at the ladies doing the drill, but then you had to go back and watch the guys do the drill because they did the count first? What
Hmm.
difference did you see?
Well, let's go back to. I'm gonna go back to Vegas. Cause we start out in Vegas doing the first stint of this. Yes, Vegas had a little bit. It had more girls there, but just due to different time of the year, and then we came here to Orlando. I think you, for me, looking at it, it was a great event because it made me think of the factory, what you do on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and the girls get more intimate time with the coaches, and the coaches really get to see and break down and help the young ladies out with the different drills that we were doing, and also really understanding how to properly run the 40 time. I think when it was in Vegas, we was able to do that too. But here in Orlando, since you have the whole crew that you really know hand to hand, that was able to work with them more one on one, and also just to seeing girls come from Tampa, Sarasota, two dogs that two ballers that's from their own area. They drove all the way to Orlando to compete and actually did very well. Number 51, if I believe the young lady, she was had the fastest time in all the different drills. And the other girl, 106, Maria, they just won their I think the championship last year. These two young girls that came to Orlando, just to see them compete and also compete at that level, and also respect that the coaches that was there. Because one thing that I thought about today when I was talking to Coach Lowe, flag football don't have the coaches that a boys football have in a high school level. So you don't have a
Correct.
running back coach, a quarterback coach, a DB coach, a D line coach, or whatnot. So
Right.
having a camp like this, I don't know if people really thought about it, is they go to a camp and now they able to get real training on that position that they probably don't get that work at high school. Because as you know, a lot of coaches either volunteer to come help out or whatnot, or maybe just a coach or assistant that coaching all the position in high school. So coming to a camp like this and girls putting in real work, they was tired because they was doing multiple drills, and they're probably it was something they wasn't even accustomed to, but they was doing a little bit better than the boys. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, after looking at the time from we call her Danny, Daniela Oliveira. She's out of Tampa area and Sarasota area, and she one of the top flag girl flag football players down in that area. Also, she getting sponsored stuff coming on right now. A company just sent her a lot of gear. I just checked out on her social media page, and she was like, "Thank you, coach." But I asked her why come up here and compete. She said, we just want to come to find any type of exposure we can get because they know how big the flag is going. And I said, well, did you train to prepare for this? She said, I trained, but not like this. So I'm not saying that there's not camps out there that train the girls. I'm not saying there's not different events that's not it's not out there. I know there are, because my next special guest coming on next, he does similar things like this too. But what I do know, a camp like this where we specialize in speed, agility, position, one-on-one, quarterback training, and flag pulling, cat and mouse. When we teach them to come to balance for every position, there's not too many like this. If and buts about it. By doing a survey from Vegas to now to 100 girls, only 20%, 10, 15% was saying, yes, I do this type of stuff. The rest of them say, I'm just out here just going through it, or I do it, but sometimes I don't. I do it with my team. After doing the camp, these last two camp with All American Exposure Camp for girl flag football, we've seen a different turn. Now they're more serious about it because they see that there's an opportunity, and we're gonna talk about that in a moment too. But just hear the times. Little comparison of the time. If you look at Danny time compared to some of the high school boys, some of the high school boys in skill position was running 4.9, 5.1, 5.2. Danny came out laser, electronic dasher time, electronic legit official 5.4. In the shuttle, guys were running 4.5, 4.7, 4.8, 4.9. Danny hit a 4.69 legit in the 5.10 shuttle. Then she come back and run the L drill. Guys were hitting 8.2, 8.3, 8.4, maybe 7.6 here and there. Some skill guy like the running back or the DB that's low to the ground. She hit them with a nice whopping 8.1 in the L drill. So you're talking about accurate, legitimate times. After we train her, then she did the competition. Train first, compete second.
Real
So
quick,
go
I
ahead.
want to cut you off. Tell me, who was the people that trained them? Who showed them? Talk about who them people are. Give me them credentials.
Well, when you bring football guys that does training football girls now. So there's not really like the girls training. The girls training the flag training can train them. I see them pulling flags, but when it comes down to the technique, running the different skills and running the different drills, like Dorian Jones is one of the top defensive back trainer in the state. I told they fly him around the country just to train guys at colleges. They're training them. Jeremiah Fell, top wide receiver trainer. Same thing. You got some of the top guys playing right now that got picked up at Alabama, Oregon, places like that. Then you have Darrell Monroe, who played at Washington State, who ran a 4.540 and did one of the fastest L drill that out there with a 6.6. Then you have guys like Walter Banks, running back coach. You know what I mean? They've been coaching an athlete for 27 years and put more D1 guys in college around. So you got RBU Factory, you got the Lab of Elites, you got the one-step performance, you have the big plays, you have these type of trainer, elite linebacker society, and then you have Chaz Williams, a quarterback extraordinaire who went to Georgia Southern, not just throwing the ball as a runner and a passer, and still lead right now as the leading passer at Georgia Southern. So the training he brings is perfect for girl flag football. He teach them not only how to throw, also how to run it at the same time. And then me, I do the speed and agility, work on their hip movement, their quickness, acceleration, come out, they break. So it was a great honor to have the girls come out there to the Automatic Exposure Camp, and it went very well. And everyone left there saying, I learned something. I'm glad I came. And some drove 2-3 hours. So it definitely worth it for 3 hours of training.
And the one key thing, a couple of ladies did say that they wanted to get more exposure, because we see now that exposure is definitely key now, and also with Nebraska setting the benchmark of being the first school that's doing offers, giving scholarships in a D1 level. I think there's going to just be more to come that follows that. And the key thing to come behind that is more exposure for them, and not so much as in one-on-one, more exposure as in more entities like us that's doing platforms like this to give girls more opportunities and get in front of the camera or whatnot. Because as you know, a lot of them females do really good at NIL, so another opportunity for them to make more money in college by doing flag football too as well. So it was a great turnout. The girls all had fun. One
And
thing I
don't
like,
forget, I would say not to cut you off, but don't forget, there was Orlando Sentinel sports writer there.
yep,
There
the
was
other guy was there.
Picture for the Prep was there. They got the write up from Sports Club Florida. Got a write up right there. SKR did a good interview and videos. And I'm just throwing out guys, the videos from Shot by Nine. All this stuff, the footage they got, also showing the actual skills and the photo, just a photo showing them putting the flags and all that matter. It helps out, because it's a very intimate setting, and that's what we're trying to build right there. And go ahead, I'm going to bring my guy in now.
So the two camps that we just did with girls, I don't know what it is about females. They cheer each other on. I don't know what it is. They cheer each other on compared to the boys camps we do. The girls is like it's like they pushing each other even to compete is better. It's like it's just the atmosphere is just is different with the females from Vegas to Orlando. I like it. I
Yeah.
love the energy. Love it.
Well, I know there's somebody that can definitely attest to what we're talking about that bring much energy. He does things that I'm just saying, if I even break down his bio, he welcomed me with open arms. I got information from a young lady, Mia. Worked with her daddy and coaching youth sports back in Pine Hill Trojan, and she connect us. I talked to him, reach out on social media, and he was like, "I'm there." I told him I'm gonna try to do a camp. It didn't go through, but finally we got something going. He was like, "I'm there. I can help you." He gave me the dates and everything. He worked out when I should do it. It was just awesome to be able to have someone that's willing to help, especially when trying to help the girls in this area. And he done a lot of great things. Like he was manager football development at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers before, Cleveland Brown. He the founder of BNA Sports right there. BNA Sport, Director of National Team, Developer USA Football, and CEO BNA Sports Organization. This guy here is the man when it comes to flag football and other entities also, and definitely taking the girls to the next level. Darrell DK Taylor. Darrell, come on in. What's going on?
Nothing much. What's going on, Coach Lowe? Appreciate
Man,
y'all for
what's
having
going
me
on,
on.
man?
What's
Man, I'm
going on,
glad you
DK?
came on. This is my man right here. This is Tremaine right there. This is DK Taylor, the one that I just want to. I said it before, man. I just called you, never met you, but you're like, I know who you are. Remember that? I know who you alone. Like,
Yeah,
you know me.
yeah,
Well,
But you
man,
absolutely, yeah,
well, I
absolutely.
never
So
met you
if you
before, but nice to.
go
Oh,
ahead.
go ahead. Sorry, sir.
No, I was just saying, if you're in the youth sports space or development space, you definitely know Lowood. So appreciate again the opportunity, and Coach.
Can you?
you there,
Did he
DK?
go? Yeah, DK. Can you hear? Talk real quick, DK.
Yeah,
Yep.
can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
there you
got
go.
you now.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
well, man, pleasure to meet you, Mr. DK. Man, I know we were doing a show out of nowhere, middle of the show. Coach said, "Hey, I got somebody coming on next week. You don't know about it, but DK gonna be on." I said, "Okay, that's cool."
Yeah,
Yes,
Yeah.
man.
sir.
So
Go ahead. You want to start out with it? 'Cause I
no,
got.
yeah. So I know Coach Lowe talked a lot about how good you are with. I guess since we're in the flag, we're talking on the flag world. Talk a little
Mhm.
bit about girls flag and the big uproar about it right now. Why it's so popular. I see it scrolling on my Instagram. I'm seeing it from NFL, Under Armour. All these big entities are showing all these girls balling like the guys are balling. Man, talk a little bit about that.
Man, it's a beautiful thing. Flag football, girls flag football in particular, is the fastest growing sport in the world. So it's not just a national sport, but it's an international sport. You have individuals like Diana Flores and Vanita Crouch from USA and Ashley Clam, et cetera, that is elevating the game of flag football and allowing girls to have an opportunity to play at the high school level, collegiate level, and the NFL even announced a professional opportunity. So the opportunity and the pipeline that you saw or that you currently see for boys tackle football, you also see the same exact opportunities for these girls. So we're just really, really excited to see these girls get the same exact opportunity as the boys did, and they can continue to elevate and to not only make it a national but an international program for these girls.
So, question: you said a lot of good things. Do you think by Nebraska being the first one, do you think more is going to follow suit of that? Like more is going to start coming along faster than later?
Yeah, so with the NCAA naming girls or women's flag football as an emerging sport, so within 2 to 3 years, most likely Division 1 will have girls flag football, women's flag football as a sport. So you'll see women and or girl high school girls in the state of Florida throughout the nation be able to commit to Division 1. I believe there is 2 or 3 other programs that announced that they will be offering women's flag football as well. So it's just really, really exciting to see all the levels of collegiate athletics of embracing women's flag football and allowing these women to receive full scholarships and opportunities to extend their education.
No,
Let me ask
I
you this
definitely
right
love
here.
that.
Yeah, but so here's the thing, DK. When you
Mhm,
look at the girls' flag football, seeing that it's rising,
mhm,
and you have basketball, you have track, and you have
mhm,
volleyball. And we know majority a lot of time when it comes to the different sports, the ethic group that plays them sports is kind of it can be mixture. So like
mhm.
volleyball, of course, I'm a straight raw person. I'll keep it blunt.
Yeah.
Volleyball is more white dominant sport, and we
Mhm,
know, and you got to have the money. Trust my daughter's a all state, play volleyball, all that good stuff there. Basketball is a dominant black sport, when all said and done. And but then now you got flag. Is
mhm.
flag a mixture, or is it because when I'm watching watching you on Instagram and watching your tournament, then I'm watching the NFL, and I'm watching the Jaguar program. I'm looking around, I'm doing my research because we're in the film room.
Mhm.
Is it a mixture? What are you seeing? What type? What the bulk of the group when it comes to the girls?
Yeah, so the girls flag football right now, I would say it's predominantly Caucasian that play the sport, but it's increasing from a African American and all ethnicities. And because, as I mentioned earlier, it's an international sport, so you have all ethnicities, races, colors, etc., that's playing the game and embracing the game. So you're finding more of those coaches that are going to recruit those basketball athletes, going to recruit those track and field
Really?
athletes in order to place them into the sport. But it is definitely a melting pot that everybody can play the sport, whatever position it may be, because there's different nuances and skill sets that you transfer from different sports that you utilize in the sport of flag football.
Well, let me ask you this then, because like I say, being in volleyball world,
Mhm,
whole nother country in that thing there. My question now come when we talk about finances and monies,
mhm,
because one thing big about volleyball, you got to have the money to travel, to play. The coaches get paid; they pay for the facility indoor. And when you come down to basketball, it might be a little similar. When it come to flag, is that a sport that can kind of fit every household financial needs, or they also need to get scholarship and sponsor, or a family that need a little money? I have to ask these questions because everyone asks me questions. They want to know: should I pull my daughter out of basketball? Should I stop my daughter from doing lacrosse and go to flag? Because people are always going to chase what's hot and what's the image of what's going on day by day.
I think one of the reasons why flag football is increasing and increasing in a rapid way is because the entry point is very low. So only thing that you need is a flag, which is $2-3, a football in an open field. So there's not as big of need to have rental space as you would do for basketball or volleyball. So the entry point from a financial standpoint is a little lower. All right, then you're seeing the elevated opportunities for tournaments. So there's tournaments all over throughout the state of Florida. There's national tournaments, there's international tournaments. So as you continue to elevate and you have exposure opportunities at different places, there is increase in cost. But if you want to play recreationally or local tournaments, there is a minimum. There's minimal expenses that you have out of pocket to be able to start the sport.
Now,
Right.
question I have, since we're talking about money,
Mhm.
since Nebraska started this new realm here for D1, is that a
Mhm.
full scholarship?
Yes. So McKenna Cook is the athlete, and she will be receiving a full scholarship if she accepts the offer to attend the University of Nebraska.
All right, because another
Mhm.
question I have for you too, because one of my students, I told her when I was in school, like, why you're not playing flag, or why you don't want to go to school for flag. She mentioned that a lot of the schools that wanted her or had flags she looked into didn't have degrees or whatnot that she wanted to go to school for.
Mhm.
And the crazy thing about her even saying that I like the mindset of the guys and the females. She mentioned the key thing that we always talk about was academics and what you want to go to school for. That was she
Mhm.
listed. She said that's why the reason she didn't want to go in that path. So are them a lot of questions have you that you have came across when a lot of, I guess, D2, D3s and NAIS schools, there's the ones that's been offering these the girls scholarship opportunities, but not having the academic part that they're really looking for.
Yeah, that's a very very true statement and wisdom from a young lady to be able to look beyond those 4 years and look at what my future would hold. So, kudos to that young lady to have the foresight, the forevision of where she wants to be, and utilizing college as that mechanism to get you to where you want to be in life. But you'll see in the women's game, club sport is very popular as well. So you have the NAIA D3, D2, and some of those programs give you full scholarships. And just like tackle football, right? D3 doesn't usually don't give you a full scholarship, but there's academic components that go into kind of makeshifting the scholarship. But University of Florida, UCF, FSU, there's club opportunities where you can compete through NERSA and be able to play the game, but you still get the scholarship, or not scholarship, but you get an opportunity to from an educational side, and then also compete collegiately. So club sport is still very popular until we can get the Nebraskas, the Florida State, Florida, Miami, etc., on board to accepting and adopting and providing full scholarship. You'll continue to see those partial scholarships in addition to club sports continue to be popular amongst women's flag football.
Now, when you
Got
say
it.
club, you're not talking about intramural, correct? You're talking about club sports.
Right. They compete. They compete from a club perspective. They have championships. It's a little bit different than intramurals because there's competition. There's national championships. It's something that they do on a collegiate level, and as we all can see, the women's flag football game is ever more popular than ever right now, and so they're the on campus opportunity from a club perspective has increased as well.
Let
Okay.
me ask you: when you IFFA
Mhm.
2026 NAIA Women Flag Football Coaches Poll, they're talking about the coaches poll itself, and I look at this, I'm like, man, there's some schools. You're right. I'm looking, they're doing it. I mean, right now they have it always be the school you never heard of, but we're in
Mhm.
Florida. And I didn't want to
Mhm.
make sure we shout this out to all the Florida girl flag football, that there's flag football right in the state of Florida, schools that are doing flag football in college. And these schools are great schools when it comes down to academic, like St. Thomas University in Miami. Their academic is real good. I
Yeah.
know because my son go there, and that's why we chose them over a couple of the school. But you got like St. Thomas right there, right here in Florida. You got Kaiser, we got Weber. These are 3 schools right here in Florida that offering flag football. How do you do you have a do you go up to the high school level? Do your program allow or help the recruiting process? Is that part of BNA? I want to now start transition to BNA. That's why we want to show. We want to talk about BNA flag football, one of the premier sports organization, flag football sports organization, and other entities with DK Taylor. If I'm bringing my kid there, and we're in that program. What can I expect, and what I need to do to get into one of these schools for us as and get an opportunity to plan in college in the state of Florida.
Yeah, so one of the things we do from a BNA perspective is we try to bring forth opportunities for exposure for these athletes. Last year in August, and we plan to do that in August again of this year, we held a high school showcase. During that high school showcase, we invited colleges from the state of Florida. Then we also had a couple colleges from out of state, one even from California, and 16 scholarships were offered for high school athletes to be able to compete. So that's a part of what we do for BNA, but that is beyond BNA. That's not just for the girls who participate in our program, but we want to provide exposure and opportunity for all girls who are playing the sport, bringing in colleges to see them, not just because you do a phenomenal job from an All-American exposure camp and in the camp series, but this is an opportunity in addition to camp series, but you can actually see these girls in action, being able to play games, and then the coaches are there to provide scholarships. So we had Baker University was there, we had Kaiser University were there, we had a number of colleges that was there that can provide these opportunities for these girls to be able to play collegiately.
Man,
That
it's
is so awesome,
amazing. And I
right?
wish I
Crazy,
knew.
right?
I wish I knew about this. I would have came out and filmed.
Yeah, I know,
And get
right?
some. I never really heard of BNA. Only reason I really heard of them because I work with do a lot of work with Hester. I know Hester did
Mhm.
some. I think BNA. So that's the only time like I heard of them. They Coach Slow mentioned it. But if you say, oh,
Yep.
interesting. Orlando has so much to offer. It's like who do you know, and you start learning more information about it. But that's amazing with the scholarship opportunities because a lot of like NIA D3 D2 for females, that's fine because they're smart. Majority of them are smart. So
Mhm.
academically,
Mhm.
it's going to work compared to the boys, little knuckleheads. Most of them, they got
Yeah, yeah,
they're not
yeah.
as they don't really care about the academics like I mentioned that girl earlier. So when you mention these smaller schools that we heard of for female, that doesn't matter for them because they're going to make it work.
Yeah,
So
and I
that's great.
and I tell you something, DK, what I love about what you're saying with the showcase too, and that's one reason why when me and you were talking, like, how can I train them up? We got the thing now we call train first, compete second. Yeah, they
Absolutely.
can go out there, and Tremaine said it, and I want you to piggyback on this here. But when it comes to high school, I mean, I caught a whole lot of high school kid coaches, and you know what I'm going to go at with this right here. 'Cause, I mean, you had this conversation about high school coaches. I'm calling, emailing. No one respond. And finally, I get one guy to respond, and it was a Sanford High School coach, Bernard. And he talked to me, and he gave me a couple of the guys, and I'm like, okay, I got a couple of people to bite that do it. And they came through, did All American Explosion Bowl, and it was free. Just saying about it. No, at first I'm like, okay, let's just charge so we can cover the fees, cover this, cover that. Then I said, you know what? So they're embarking on something. Let's just offer it to them. Let's just do some scholarship. Let's just get them in there. And that's what we did in the bowl game. And it was very successful. It did well. I mean, we
Mhm.
had 5 or 6 high school kids or coaches and team that did come together. So, but it was like pulling teeth. And now there's a new platform, a new opportunity for the girl. I mean, I'm like, this is. It was just so hard. Why is it so hard to get the high school on board when it come to when you set a platform? Like we had the camp, and there
Mhm.
was a lot was going on, but there were some teams I know that did not go to Jacksonville, that did not go to the Icon. I know that for a fact, and we laid it out. We had coaches we had gear, we had the training, we taught them everything, and I didn't know what is that about?
Yeah, I think it's a protective mechanism to protect the well-being of the perception of protecting the well-being of the athletes that are within the program, and allowing them to kind of control the narrative of what the next steps are for these particular athletes. I think girls flag football is is one of the only sports right now, like tackle football and girls flag football, are typically one of the only two sports right now where you have to go through the high school coach in order to receive that scholarship. And
That's correct.
I think there's a protective mechanism of trying to protect of the value of going through the high school coach, as opposed to being a part of that club program that gives you the exposure and the opportunity, which minimizes the impact from a high school standpoint that the club allows. So I think there's a protective, trying to shield the what has happened in every other sport from happening in girls flag football.
Well, the protective is one thing, but getting the kids exposure is a whole nother different thing, especially when
Correct.
it's free. I'm gonna spell
That's
that
why I
word for
said,
you. F
yeah,
R E E.
that's why I said the perception of it. You know what
Yeah,
I
I'm
mean?
like, come on, what are we
It's
doing? I
yeah.
mean, we gotta change. We gotta change the game for the young lady. Give them an opportunity. Give them some exposure. Whatever the case might be. Give them a little bit more. Listen, everybody. This is why I tell people: there's only 11 people on the girls on a 12 girls on a basketball team. Only five can be on the court at a time. I think five, right? Yep. And then, but then I look at flag. Oh my gosh, you got 7 offense, 7 defense. That you know what I mean? They totally different people. They can play both ways. You can have 24 on the team. Everybody get an opportunity to play. That's more
Right.
chances for them to get seen or get some reps, to get something going, and they'll get an opportunity to get a scholarship or get looked at, or a little money better than no money. If I can go to St. Thomas and I got a 4.0 GPA as a girl, right? And I'm doing good. But what if I got a 3.3? Well, at least they give me some money academic. Maybe I get a little
Mhm.
bit of flag football money in there. Versus if I'm playing basketball and I'm not the one on that, I'm not getting in all the time, or it ain't that many people gonna play all the time. Give
Mhm.
them a chance to do both. Track is the hardest sport ever. To stay on top in a sport and track is no joke. I know that. I'm a track guru. That's why I did track all my life while I did football. It's very hard to get them scholarship. I mean, I had guys running doggone 10.5 couldn't get a scholarship. I had girls
Mhm.
running 24 couldn't get a scholarship. It was tough. So when all said and done, here go a sport where not every girl gonna be talented like that to play. You got a better chance, you got the athleticism, and you get out there and run around and get a scholarship. Why not? And that's what we seen this weekend.
Yeah, and I think you hit the nail on the head too about the amount of players. So as you see, flag football is an emerging sport. As these colleges take on the ad in this sport, there's going to be more demand than supply. So the scholarships are going to be, it's going to be a lot of scholarships. So we need more girls playing the sport, and especially getting the exposure and opportunity of a competitive game. And you have these camps that you're at the you're competing against one another. You're training, you're learning, you're developing. So these will always bring a platform for them to elevate their game, to have an opportunity to receive a scholarship, because as a college roster you have 24 athletes and the numbers continue to grow. There's going to be plenty of opportunities for girls to play, because you still have D2, you still have D3, you still have
Correct.
NAIA. Now
Mhm,
you're adding on a whole new element to it.
mhm.
There's
Hmm.
going to be, we need more girls to play the sport, and we need more girls to play, to learn, to develop, and to grow so that they can fill these positions.
So since you said develop, I want to touch on this topic here. I was talking to
Mhm.
Coach Lowe, and you tell me your thoughts of why it's really important now for camps. Because when I think about camps and I'm thinking about the girls in a high school level, football boys have position coach,
Mhm.
but girls flag don't. So having a camp that they can go to that we just did this past weekend, and in Vegas we had a position coach for every single position.
Mhm.
And a lot of them kids don't have that in the high school level. So in my mind, I'm thinking that I need to go to this camp because I played linebacker or whatnot, and I play on offense too as well. But there's a linebacker coach here that played at Michigan or Georgia or whatever that understands the game, and he can teach me great pointers. Should we be seeing an increase of kids taking advantage of that? Because I know right now in the high school level, we're not going to get that many coaches going to be talking about they're going to be coaching flag football because of we already know Florida don't pay coaches anyway, and you're talking about
Mhm.
having 4, 5, 6 position coaches to help out. That's realistically that's probably not going to happen. So do you think the camp world, I would say in Florida right now, in Florida should be a really ideal place for them kids and also getting more training with the football guys that go to training with their position coaches?
Yeah, I think it is the right thing, and I think it will be the right thing. The issue that we're currently facing is it goes back to the conversation that we had earlier about the perception and trying to protect. It's football, or the perception is tackle guys don't know how to teach flag, and that's where the rubber kind of meets the road. And but that's the perception. It's you got tackle, which is completely different. Even if you're teaching the quarterback position, or if you're teaching the receiver position. I've talked to a gentleman yesterday who said he was a girls flag football wide receiver specialist, right? So there is the gender specific, there's a different game type, and that's kind of what we're battling right now. We're in the emergent sport, that transition. And so as things begin to transition, the path will become clear, and then you'll see those specialists. And most of the specialists will come from that tackle football background because of their in-depth knowledge of the sport, and the nuances of the physical traits that athletes possess. And so that will continue to evolve, and it'll continue to grow. It's an emerging sport, so there's a lack of trust, and there is a fight against those who are doing it, to release and allow the specialists to be able to cultivate and develop these athletes.
Well, let me jump in right quick. I love that you said that, DK, because that's what I had heard. Somebody said, "Well, you know, them guys just knew how to tackle." I said, "Tackle?" I say,
Mhm.
I'm just so confused because before you tackle, you still got to know how to come down in a certain angle,
Mhm.
approaching to grab a flag, right?" They say, "Yeah." I said, "You still got to come to balance." Yeah. I said, "Well, if I'm a wide receiver, I'm not going to pull the flag. I'm going to run a route to get open, right?" Say, "Yeah, okay." Well, the routes is a route. I don't know what route different you doing from 707 girl to 707 boy, because I got a 707 coach that's out there. I had four of them, and I pulled out my sheet and looked at their sheet at the same plays that we was
Mhm.
doing. No, I mean, when I was said and done, I'm like, okay. Then I said, well, let's talk about the quarterback. So we're in Las Vegas. This is girl quarterback. Her name was Mia. Her name was Mia too. That's weird. This girl here, DK,
Mhm.
I ain't seen a girl quarterback like that could throw that ball. I was amazed. And I'm like,
Mhm.
how you know how to throw the ball that? She's like, I got a quarterback coach. So I
Mhm.
said, okay, well, who's your quarterback coach? Yeah, I knew who the quarterback coach was. Here's what make it crazy. That same quarterback coach boys quarterbacks. He'll
Mhm.
go and say, well, your hand got to be different because you're a girl.
Nah,
You
he
got to
didn't do
do
that
an
then.
underhand. I see, this ain't baseball and softball. You follow me? This is
Yep.
football. You still got
Yep.
to get that ball up. You still run routes. You still shake and bait. Now, pulling flags is a different approach. It is an art to
Yep.
it.
Yep. Yep.
And then when the girls catch the ball, keeping them from pulling the flag, there's an art to it. Because I see them how
Mhm.
they drop down low,
Right.
walking on the ground. There's an art. So it's an
Mhm.
art to keep them from pulling the flag. There's an
Right.
art to pull the flag, right? Right, DK?
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
but but don't you got to be in position to pull the flag?
Yes.
Or don't
It's
you got to
still
run the route?
yeah,
Go
the
ahead, DK.
fundamentals of it still the fundamentals of it still the same thing, where you're teaching leverage, you're teaching angles, you're teaching breakdown, get in the athletic position, hands out wide. So it's a lot of the same principle. going into flag pulling is the same thing as playing tackle football, where you break down your leverage, you put your shoulder, everything is the same. It's just now, are we teaching raking or are we teaching grip, rip, pull? Like, what's the nuances once you get to that position? But the lead up to and the breakdown and getting in position and making sure you have the, stand on the balls of your feet and being able to adjust and move and things of that sort. It's the same thing on that side.
Yeah. When all said and done, train first, compete second, but be great in your training. And then now, if you need that extra pulling flag, that extra, we know definitely your club coach ain't gonna show you how to do that because that's what they definitely gonna be doing because
Yeah.
that's why they the coaches. And so you get the best of both worlds. So going to the camps, getting exposure, bringing that training back to your club, go out there and
Mhm.
perform. The coach do his part, teach the offense, put the schemes in. Now you got an edge. And this young lady we got, Daniela. I mean, she know you very well. She got BNA all over her Instagram. So I said, okay, she is dynamic. I mean, she is
Mhm.
dynamic, DK. And I'm like, wow, this girl here came here to train. And the article we did on her, she said, I learned this. I'm glad I came to this. She was telling me I haven't done this drill before. It's things that we were showing her that she said that will help her. Routes, getting off the line, a little faster. The way the guys do the drills. She said, I never did that. I just kind of just took off, ran the routes. Now she
Mhm.
learned that she can separate easier and better. So them little things that matter when all said and done, and they're going to help them get noticed better, get open faster, cover better. And it can't do nothing but to make their highlights better and that's the only way it is. Some girls cannot pay for a personal trainer, the trainer all the time. But if I can get 4 hours of training, competing, one-on-one, 707, teaching at a camp for $100 divided by 4, that's $25. I got 9, 10 camera crews over here. I got 3 sports writers over here, and you're gonna be on the Coach Low
Mm-hmm.
platform with 50,000 followers. We got 100,000 over here at this company, 100,000 here, Orlando Center, all this writer. That's the value of going to a camp. That's the
Right.
value.
Now,
So
Yeah.
go ahead.
now I got a question, DK, because you've been doing this for a while.
Mhm.
When is the best timing to do a count for girls flag during the year?
I would say fall, fall going or winter, and then summer, because springtime in the state of Florida, but I go back. I guess it depends on where you are. So if we're saying the state of Florida, springtime is where girls flag football is at its peak, right? So that's where they're playing now. Most played in the preseason classic this weekend,
Yeah.
whether it was in Jacksonville or it was in Tampa. Tampa Bay Buccaneers host the largest
I
girls high
seen
school
that.
flag
Yeah,
football
I
That
seen
thing
showcase.
it.
look that thing look
It's
lit too. Oh
Oh
my
Yeah.
yeah,
god.
it's from like Tuesday to Sunday, and teams get to play and compete against different teams that they may not play in the season. So that they're gearing up right now for flag football season. So from a high school perspective, the springtime I would stay away from camps in the springtime because they're in season, right? But when they get their off season training, it will be similar to other sports that play in the spring. So your summer, there's from a high school perspective, they have AAU tournaments in the summertime, but in the fall is usually that dead period in which the camps and the off-season training prepare them for the beginning of the season in the spring, that January, because they do tryouts in January. So I would say that late fall would be prime for these athletes because
Yeah.
now you need to be training and prepping for that tryout that starts in January.
Yeah. Well, with the new things going on now, with the
Oh.
colleges getting involved and the Olympics and everything, you do a
Mhm.
lot of events. Every time I'm looking up, boy, you got showcases, you got tournaments, I've seen you do camps and everything. What's going on with DK right now? What's new? What's happening? What can people get involved in? Where can they? I know they know to find yet. No, we'll talk about that. But like,
Yeah.
what's new? What's happening with BNA?
Yeah, so from a BNA perspective, we're currently hosting our our winter flag football league. So we have a HERricanes flag football league. It's an all girls flag football league on Friday nights. It's kindergarten through 8th grade. So we have a number of girls out just competing and playing the game of flag football. The game of flag football is starting a lot earlier for girls. So now you'll see them as they continue to grow and increase the amount of reps that they have from a rec standpoint or travel, etc. You'll see the game of flag football continue to elevate at the high school level and college level because they've had years of experience prior to it. In addition to that, we do tournaments. We do at least 1 to 2 tournaments every month. Our next tournament will take place on March 7th at UCF. It's called March Madnight. So this will be a nighttime tournament. So we'll have boys, girls divisions, high school. We actually have high school fives divisions. And so there is that's another nuance from a girls flag football perspective. A lot of the club side is 5-on-5. A lot of the high school is 7-on-7 because the Olympics will be 5-on-5 and but high school and college is 7-on-7. So that's a nuance where girls can also play fives in the spring as well as sevens when they play with their team. So, but we're really excited to continue to bring exposure and opportunities girls through whether that may be a camp or a league or a tournament that they can participate in.
So real
Yeah.
quick, you said March 7th. I'm hoping since I got you on the show that I can get credentials to come out there and film at UCF at night, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, so you are
You
the man.
you already invited. You already invited.
My-
But I'll definitely have you there and to really put an emphasis on the girls' middle school, like 14U plus high school
oh,
division. You'll see it's an incredible sight to
oh,
see.
I'm
And
bringing the
then
whole whole squad.
perfect. And then on a personal tip, this weekend in Jacksonville. So my full time day job, I'm a director of national team development for USA Football, and so we travel all across the United States
Wow.
putting on talent ID camps. And so those talent ID camps, we do combine testing, and then following that we do indie drills and then one-on-ones, two-on-threes, and then we finish with scrimmage. But the goal of this is to identify individuals and athletes to participate on our junior national team or our national
Wow.
team. So and that's the teams that will represent your country in the 2028
Man.
Olympics. So
Right.
and we have 2 individuals who's on the national team, or 3 that was on the national team from Central Florida last year. 2 were on the junior national team. One gentleman out of Lake Brantley High School, and then a young lady at Timber Creek Middle School on the east side. She also plays for BNA. And then we have a gentleman named Belton Brown, who is also from Orlando. He's assistant coach at Boone High School for flag football. So there is a lot of talent right here in Central Florida that continue to elevate on the national level as well as internationally.
Well, you
Okay.
know what? I rest my case now. You just you did you that's it. Cut off the tape. Cut the tape, DK.
Mhm.
So I knew I went crazy when I said train first, compete second, train how to do the combine. Somebody say, do they do all this stuff low? Yes, they
Mhm.
have to do it. It's girls football and boy football. One got on helmet, one don't. So I told him you
Mhm.
got to train on 5-10-5. You got to train in the air drill. You have to
Yeah.
train in the combine. You have to train on the 40. You have to train your position drill, your speed, your agility.
Wow.
Right. So now it just rests my case that what we did
I
Saturday,
told you that anyway, coach. I told you they
no, you
did
did
that.
not tell me that.
It's
No,
just
you did not. You did not.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we test it all. It's
Yeah.
all digital. So we use Vault, but it's all digital. No hand time. Everything is recorded. So you have to
what?
you
This is
I would I
crazy.
would I would tell everybody to get reps in, get opportunities in, because now this you don't want your first time running a 5-10-5 or your first time doing a broad jump being at the actual camp where you getting evaluated for
I
Like
rest
opportunities to
my
make.
case.
that's like
That's it.
that. Hey, that's like
I'm out,
hey,
baby.
that's like
I'm
going.
done.
That's like a kid going to Under Armour and never run a 40 before when it's
Yeah.
clocked, and it messes up
Yeah.
all your opportunities.
Hmm.
No, hey, I want you, and I think I'd love for you to check us out on AAE. watch the combine, what we're doing, watch them girls run. Man, we had an eighth grader too, man, Justin Felton. She was flying. We had a sixth grader,
The little
ran
dark
that
skin
40.
girl.
My gosh.
Yeah.
I told her, I said, you need to run track. But I had to. I mean, that track is still in my blood, DK. But she was
Yeah.
moving so fast in sixth grade. I said, wow. I mean, she
Yeah.
ran like a six something. I'm like, that is fast. That's the talent you're talking about, embarking into that flag world. You know, okay, you getting that talent, girls like that there. And what I like to say is a lot of girls that came to the camp, DK, was saying it's their first time, first experience, didn't know what to expect. Now, I will tell you now, the bunch of them were falling out after the warm-up. I'm gonna
Yeah.
tell you. I'm
Yeah.
like, you play flag football, but that goes back to I hate to say it, the high school coaches have to condition them. They have to do pre-conditioning. They have
Yeah.
to get them some training. They got to treat it for real. Treat it. Do it like track. Make them do track training because they ain't never running like soccer. Stop and go,
Yeah.
stop and go, stamina
Yeah.
training. And
Mm.
they struggle. They struggle. I'm trying to tell you. But after kept going, we took our time with them, gave them water, ice, and cool them down, and kept coming. They ended up coming back. But it was time for that flag game. Man, you thought they had a whole burst of energy. Boy, they was going deep. Tell about the girl catching the ball, shooting across the field. I said, I thought you
Yes,
were
sir.
tired.
Yes, sir.
So
They ready there.
the one thing that I noticed that's similar, because I teach at Evan, so and he said how the team look. Oh, we need a quarterback. I guess it's the same thing for boys too as well.
Quarterback. Quarterback is the most important position in football. Just you
Yep.
put you don't put girls in front of it. Don't put tackle in front of it. Quarterback position is still the most important position in football.
Yeah,
Oh
because
yeah.
the bowl game, Coach Lowe went there, but golly, I think Seminole. It was Seminole girls versus Wakava, whatever. The
Mm.
girl was like a freshman, like Lamar Jackson out there. I said, what is going on out here? There's some
The high
talented
school
girls, boy.
the high school sport, especially because you can blitz off 1 yard away,
Yeah.
and the quarterback has an opportunity to run. So having that dual threat quarterback where you seeing at college, you seeing in pros,
Mm-hmm.
that's a weapon. That's a
I
Yes.
need
weapon because now
a book. I need
yeah,
a book because I don't know. I don't know what you're
Hey,
even
I'm like,
talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about because that's how it was. And then, I love it. The girl, the center, you see the center, she snapped the ball, go out for a pass. Like, what are we
listen,
doing? It was so
the center position in flag football is the modern day tight end position. You know, a
yes.
tight end used to be that big, basically an extra lineman. And then they transferred with Kellen Winslow when he started being able to block and being able to run routes and stick and get open. That's the center position. It's the most reliable person. You can snap and have the ability to go out and run a route and catch the ball, high point
That's
it. Because
crazy.
you're going against the linebacker, you're going against the safety. So it's the
Yes,
same
right.
thing as in
That's
tackle
right.
football, where
That's right.
you had to put him at a disadvantage. You have one of my best athletes going against a safety or a linebacker. I'm gonna take
Come
my
on, man. It's
athlete
on.
off the field.
Yeah, I
Man,
agree.
so
Well,
you want them females that shifty, boy. Oh,
yeah.
Woo!
Well, it worked. Well, it worked in age. DK, it worked because that's what one of the girls she said, I'm a center. I'm like, okay. She got
Mhm.
down there, got that dirty ball, and went out and did I said, what the heck? So I'm learning too. Listen, I'm learning the game. I'm learning the
Yeah,
game too. But see, me, all I want to do is just train them. All the
yeah.
game part, I do that to y'all. We just want to
Mhm.
coach. We just want to
Mhm.
train them, and then they can go compete. That's what we want to
Mhm.
do. We want to help them be better at their craft, be the best they can be at their craft. And even the camp this weekend, we offer it was scholarship in the girls that want to come. We put it out there, and then we just got to get everybody on board for Central
Mhm.
Florida. Give the young ladies a chance. Because you see it's scarce in football for college now, for football for boys. And basketball is definitely limited. You got to go to Lake Island Prep, one big time school, to go to a big
Mhm.
time school, period. Track is you better be running fast. I mean, they still going to smaller school. Adrian, my boy Adrian, tell you every day, it's hard to get them into Floridas and the big schools or what the case might be. So what else is out there? Get them another opportunity. Flag football is right there. B&A Sports right there for the opportunity to grow up into a league from K all the way through. It's outdoors. They're having fun. They still can be a beautiful girl running around, with their ponytails and the things sticking out their head. And I see the girl with the little tape on their face now. And oh my God, they look so cute with them. That's what I love about the sport of flag. The girl, they just cute girls just running around, but they're athlete and they can be a little mean and tough too now.
Yeah.
Remember the girl, Tremaine, that she pulled that flag, throw the flags on the ground, looked at the girl, I said, oh my God. You remember that, Tremaine?
That was a little young girl too at that. The little
You were young, DK. Them girls something else. And DK, the branding. There's a young girl named, I sent it to her. She got about 100,000 followers. She wear a little, she always have during mouthpiece, a little pit of tail, and she fast and she be killing it. She on Instagram, it's phenom. But they're phenom. You know what I'm talking about? The young little girl, black girl. She is amazing. Her brand is out of this world. That's her.
She
Black
said,
girl.
"You said is she? Oh, she local?
No. The girl, I thought you said Nicole. She's a young girl. She real fast. She be doing all the moves, shaking, baking, dropping. Oh man, her little long ponytail put out. I gotta find that girl.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Who I'm talking about.
PP Longstocking?
That might be her, but it's not playing so much, man. You pay too much.
Hey, hey, real quick.
Is it London? Is it London?
I'm gonna find out right now while we talking, and I'm letting
while
you
he's
know.
doing that. So DK, so with this emergence of flag, is this why Under Armour has included that in their games? I think last year was the first year. Is why they put a big emphasis on that now.
Yeah, so last year was actually the second year for the Under Armour All American Games, and so they're doing the same pathway now that the boys have, because there is additional opportunity for them to receive college scholarship. So Under Armour has come on board as well, and given girls, they have different Under Armour camps, and then you get an invite to be a high school All American. And U.S. Army has done the same thing. You know how they have the U.S. All American game, and they've come on board now to have an all-star game for high school girls flag football. Fiesta Bowl is coming on board to do a high school championship as well. Canton, Ohio. Yeah, Canton, Ohio, in the Hall of Fame, they have a high school girls championship. Oakley in LA just had one. So there is opportunity for girls to play flag football.
Man, this is amazing. Is the high school level really preaching this to the young ladies about this opportunity for them? Because I don't really hear it a lot, that these opportunities, like how I always tell the guys about all these opportunities. Why are the high school doing justice by giving them these outlets that you're just telling me right now, or they need to do way better?
It has to do way better, because these Oakleys and things like that are kind of currently controlled by the club space, and it's but these girls need to get out. They need the training. They need to. It's not. We can't try to control the narrative. We have to prepare, develop, and send them out so that we can all collaborate and to make sure that these girls are in the best potential or the best opportunity for them to gain the scholarship or gain the opportunity that they desire.
Yeah,
man.
Well, I look right here. I found her name is Darrell Roberts. Darrell Roberts, world champ flag football player, junior Olympic track 100. I told you run track, 100-meter champion, long jump champion. She's sitting like 20,000 followers. She got she's business. Hey, check it out. This is like the branding. Business inquiry, Darrell Roberts gmail.com. She about 12 years old.
What?
Yeah, DK. 541,000 views, 619,000 views, 233,000 views. It's just crazy. She's a beast out there running that. I mean, amazing. So what I'm saying, my point is, the girl also got to think about the branding. You can flag perfect time to get in and brand yourself when it comes to flag. What's your thoughts on girl branding themselves, when it comes to flag now?
It's as you mentioned, it's an amazing opportunity. What when you saw the Super Bowl, you saw the young lady Ashley Clam. She was all over the Super Bowl. Diana Flores, Under Armour is putting a lot of these sponsors are putting a lot of dollars behind flag football because they see the trajectory of the sport. So being able to play the game, not having a covering, so you can show your personality. You don't have
Hmm.
anything covering your face. So you can really expose yourself and showcase yourself. And now with branding, you can do it yourself. From a
That's a
social
win
media
situation.
standpoint, it's like I can show my personality where you can follow me, TikTok, etc. And I can show my catches, my training, everything that I'm doing is really, really elevating your brand and giving brands the opportunity to have a personal relationship with you, because that's how you connect. You connect to relatability. If I can relate to this person and I can aspire to do the things that they do, and it continue to increase the brand and opportunity for these athletes.
Man, I think and Angel Reese and Clark, they made the window
Mhm.
even better.
Yeah,
So now people are investing. I will invest too as well. What you just said made a lot of sense, as in no helmets.
yeah,
You get to see the person besides just a number of the name. I get to actually see that person. And majority, and to be honest, we all know women carry this something better than men anyway, majority of the time, anyways. So
mhm.
that's a good marketing piece for any company or brand or whatnot. And this staying on the dang Under Armour smart then. So I can understand why they're putting invested in that, because look at this new platform. This well, it's not a new platform, but it's going to be a big platform, especially if more D1 schools get it. Oh my God, it's gonna be crazy competitive. We're
Oh
gonna be
yeah.
And
talking
then
about that like college football or whatnot.
yeah. And then from a branding standpoint, if you think about it from a brand, if I'm a brand and I want to continue to grow internationally, what better way than to allow these girls or these women to showcase your brand and connection on the Olympics. So you're on the biggest stage in sports, which is the Olympics, where these athletes now have the opportunity to be a part of that 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 that's going to elevate everything that they're doing, and it also increases the marketing for these athletes.
Hmm.
Well, man, I tell you, man, that's the valuable information. I'm getting people text me saying, "Man, I didn't know that. How can I get my daughter involved? I'm glad my daughter's playing. Wow, I didn't even know y'all had a camp. I didn't know it was free. Wow, my daughter didn't come." So that's what it
Mhm.
says. So we call. I'm just gonna call it all the high school. I mean, the middle school is set. Being they got it on lock. They got it out there. The exposure out there. The opportunity out there. You know how to find it if you want it by going to BNA Sports. You're going to all the social media sites. DK Taylor's right here live. And then, guys, we want to bring it to Central Florida. We want to put on for the city. We had a great bowl game that went well. We had a camp that went well. We're gonna bring it back. We kicked off at Orlando quarterback shootout where we had the girls come out for the first time, and girls right from that camp right now getting scholarship. I just talking to Seth Kroom or daughter Charlie Kroom. She just picked up two offers right there. Represent Excel speed on her chest, when her graphic. We appreciate that because we want to set the stage for them. And I definitely want to thank you for coming on. DK Taylor's an awesome show. Everyone talking about it. Great question, great information. And I know the thing will get bigger and better. And I'm glad you already been in it before anybody thought about it because you already seen the vision. I can tell. So I mean, you can look at it. Look at your Instagram, look at the page, going back to years and years and what you have been doing, and then lay out the platform and for everyone and starting at kindergarten. Phew, I don't know how you pull that off, but kindergarten,
Just
man,
Hey,
crazy.
that's some
yeah,
patience.
I gotta show you the video of these K2 first grade girls out here playing, throwing the football, catching, and everything.
That is
What? That's
impressive.
It's a
So
beautiful
crazy.
thing to see.
Well, for me, I look forward to March 7th. I'm gonna put in my group chat right now because all my students gonna be like, "Oh yeah, Mr. Wright, we going." All right, now
Yeah.
they're
yeah.
gonna say that. So, man, I
Right.
definitely appreciate you for coming on, man, giving us some knowledge, stuff that we didn't know anything about. I know me and Coach Lowe definitely talked about how can we maximize from this opportunity for girls flag and giving them more exposure. So, man, thank you for coming on, man. We really definitely appreciate it. And if anybody want to know more information about where they can reach you at.
So all of our website, social handles, everything is bnasports.org. So our social handle, BNA Sports ORG, website, bnasports.org. So you go there, you'll have all the information on our programs, upcoming programs, camps, clinics, events, tournaments, everything that we do. Ultimately, our role is to create the ultimate youth sports experience. So we just want to create experience for all athletes to be able to thrive, enjoy, and have fun playing the game. And a really a great appreciation for you two and what you do in training these athletes so that they can excel in programs like ours and tournaments and things like that. So appreciate the sacrifices and your willingness to take on the new sport, take on these athletes, and to develop and cultivate them so that they can have the maximum exposure and opportunities. So we really appreciate you too.
I appreciate you, and don't forget he being a little modest. When you play with BNA Sport and you win, you get a huge ring, baby. Hey,
That's
you want a ring? You want hey BNA Sports.
yes, sir.
All right,
Hey,
I
man. Thank you,
appreciate
man.
it.
We'll talk soon. Appreciate it, DK.
All right, thank you
all right.
again.
Well, hey,
All
everybody
right,
who's
take
on
care.
here today, man, thank you all for tuning in. We appreciate you all. Hope you got really good, impactful information, especially if you have a daughter or whatnot that's in the flag world. This is definitely a show to definitely watch to get more information about. You can always reach out to myself or Coach Lowe to get more information about it. As me and Coach Lowe work on and figure out the dynamic behind this platform, this new platform that we have started doing with these camps and bringing it to the factory for the girls. So stay tuned. Thank you for everybody being on. We guys see you guys next week, and we'll post that flyer this week or who we have coming on next week. Peace.